Okay, for this masterpiece strategy, it's about connecting to your spirit. So let's take a look at the quiz questions that came up for this one. So it's about how often do you connect to your spirit while working? Now, from a spiritual perspective, of course, it's your spirit, allowing your spirit to guide your path because it knows your mission. Your spirit knows what you came to this planet to accomplish. And letting it lead the way in every specific practical question and action that you have. Now, from a more scientific perspective, this is about achieving advanced states of flow. So we'll talk more about flow state in the next module. Yet this is like basically your peak creativity, being in a relaxed, intense state that's allowing your peak creativity to guide your actions. And instead of flow state being this elusive thing where maybe you're on sometimes and then the rest of the times you have to like grind it out, this is actually like navigating the tasks, the very practical duties and responsibilities that you have, and following this specific guidance, this inner guidance that ends up allowing you to be more effective. So some of these examples are like not connecting at all, and then there's monthly, weekly, daily, hourly, moment by moment. And really the whole goal here, and it takes time, it takes practice, and it takes trust. So it's being able to hear the guidance, which we talked about in the previous video. That's one key step. And then it's trusting, because sometimes the inner guidance is going to tell you to go right when you really think you should go left. And it's about developing that trust, because as you do it a few times, you'll see that your inner guidance like knows exactly what to do. And it's like, if you look at your daily activities, you could just go through them in a very left brain linear fashion, but that might just be a lot of red or yellow. Or if you allow that inner guidance to guide you, it might start you off with one task that you didn't expect, but for some reason that feels green. And then it leads you to another green task, and then another and another. And it's kind of like moving around, but before you know it, a bit of time has passed and you got everything done. And it was smooth, it was relaxed, and you were in the flow. And that's exactly what this question is speaking to. Because when we're in that state and we're allowing our most creative part of ourselves to guide the way, it allows us to do more, to accomplish more while doing less, and to have a very smooth type of the process as well, instead of like battling it through. So that's what I encourage you to do. Well, first off is to see where you're at right now. And again, just be honest with where you're at. And it's okay wherever you're at, and see what the next level up on that is. In this case, it's like the next one down on the list. That's actually higher up on the color scale. And see how you can start doing this more and more and practice with yourself. And I'm telling you, this is one of the hidden superpowers of this whole course. Is if you take nothing else away actually from this course and you just learn how to do this, your results will take off on your genius path. It really will, because your subconscious and your spirit, they already know what's the optimal path for your genius. They already know. So oftentimes we get in our own way, and our conscious mind is bringing all these different resistance patterns and things that we think we have to do. But if we start building this different skill, and it really is a different skill set, it's just like going to the gym and building a new muscle. You're building a new muscle here, and using it moment by moment. And kind of what the moment by moment feels like is, after a while, you get so used to the feeling of your spirit guiding you, your subconscious guiding you, that you can feel the difference when you're off, or when you're like going to go do a bunch of activities that just doesn't feel right. And it's important to that's why it's a skill. It takes distinguishing between, is this just not feeling right because it's resistance, and I might just be procrastinating, or does it not feel right because I'm getting guidance to approach it in a different way. And this is going to be deep, and it takes conversation on this. So post in the Facebook group on this and specific things, because I know this one really well. I'm still developing training material because it is pretty, it's very nuanced. That's what it is. It's very nuanced. And once you get it, once you feel it, you've got it. It's just getting there It's building a map because nobody else is really talking about this. I mean, there's a lot of like spiritual stuff or subconscious stuff, but it's missing. It's a lot of abstractness, and it's missing that bridge of like, okay, how can we use this practically? And this you can absolutely use practically in every decision. And so the moment by moment feeling is like it's really in this advanced state of flow where if you go out of the flow for a little bit or if you're about to get out of it, you can feel it. So you just pause. You go, okay, something's a little off here. And then you ask your guidance of like, okay, should I do A, B, or C? And you'll get the answer. And then you then you maneuver into whatever that answer was. So it's almost like you're surfing this wave in your workday. We're surfing the conversations, and it's leading you forward. And ultimately, what happens is it's a lot of green and blue work. Whereas before, if we don't listen, and I can just speak, from my own experience, very like left brain, analytical, just check things off the list. It took a lot for me to kind of learn this more right brain approach, and I would get better, I get better results in it, but it definitely took trust because it's like, man, logically I should do these things first, but right brain kind of connecting to spirit, it was telling me, well, do this and do this. And oftentimes it's not what I had expected, but when I look back at what was done and created, I was like, wow, that was real deal flow going on right there, because it's exactly what I want accomplished, even better, and it was much quicker, and it was just smooth. So that's what we're looking for here, because that smoothness is green or blue. And so one thing to take away from this video is to A, see where you're at, B, see what the next step is, and start bringing this into your daily life, this skill. And as you combine this with the work to hear your spirit, hear your subconscious, those two will come together of using it more and more. And like I said, you only got to use this a few times before your brain is like, wow, this works. This is way more effective. It's a lot more fun, and it just works. So that's what I got for you in this video, and I'll see you in the next one.